Welcome to Bad Dice, the UK's first Warhammer Fantasy Battle podcast. We bring you news, reviews and updates from all around the UK tournament scene. Your hosts are Ben Curry and Ben Johnson. We hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, be sure to let us know. You can contact us on thebens@baddice.co.uk or leave a positive review on iTunes. Alright everybody, welcome to the Bad Dice Podcast, episode 43. We're your hosts, Ben Curry.
And I'm Ben Johnson.
And we're here to talk about 8th edition. So yeah, after a nice 7th edition filled episode last week, we're back this time just before we were departing for the ETC to talk about just 8th edition in general. What our thoughts for it?
Just before we go to the biggest 7th edition tournament ever.
Yeah. we're going to talk about 8th, what our thoughts are on it, what we've been up to, what we've seen and all that sort of jazz. So before we get into all that, we're going to have a quick rundown of our sponsors. We've got some people to say thanks to. So you want to lead us out, Ben? Who have we got first?
Okay, we'll start with Og Games.
Yep, it's a good place to start. Og Games. Online store, it's oggames.co.uk. They're pretty cheap for all your Games Workshop needs.
15% off everything.
Yeah, pretty much. And they've got a wide range of all sorts of other wargaming products. So pretty much anything you want to do with gaming and stuff like that. I suppose if you want other stuff, I don't know.
Well, no, they do.
If you want some chocolate, give Ollie a call. He'll go and buy you some. You want some, I don't know, maybe some hookers and stuff. He can probably line you up.
Do you think
maybe
they do crack?
Some crack, I don't know. I don't know, mate.
Text in, Ollie. Do you do crack?
Text Ollie. Do you do crack and whores?
For 15% off.
No, so yeah, all your Games Workshop goodness, any wargaming stuff, particularly a lot of board games, a lot of the Fantasy Flight Games stuff, they've got some real good deals on. And like you say, some Xbox stuff as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
So check them out. It's oggames.co.uk, and they've also got ogforums.co.uk. Get on there and just have a chat to the guys, because they've got quite a good gaming club down at the store. They've got, if you're in the local area, they've got a bit of a club night going on. And yeah, head to the forums and see them boys. It's oggames.co.uk. So in addition to them, we also have, we've got Rankings HQ. Andrew was on last episode, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
We had a nice chat to him. He's a good lad.
Ride him a little bit maybe, but still.
Rankings HQ is basically an online community for all things wargaming and tournaments, basically. You can go there after you've had a tournament, submit your results, and it'll be slammed into the ranking system of the country it was in.
Yeah.
And you can check out how you're doing against your wargaming peers.
Get some bragging rights going.
Yeah, and particularly they've launched the ETC site, so go on there, check that out. It's really good. Anywhere in the world, wherever you are, even if your country doesn't have a ranking system or it doesn't have a flag up on the main page, you can still go and register a profile and look at other people are doing in other countries. You can also contact the guys at Rankings HQ to see about getting your country signed up to it. So yeah, that's rankingshq.com.
Is that easy to do out of interest for people maybe don't know?
For what?
To get your country signed up?
Yeah, dead easy. Email me, Ben Curry at baddice.co.uk. I'm the administrator for the UK. And I can pass you on to the relevant parties to get you set up for your country. You never know; you might email us, and we're already in talks with your country.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's a lot of that going on. So yeah, that's Rankings HQ. One of the things they have got going on is a competition to win some armies from Mantic Games. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about it here, but there's 3 armies up for grabs, and all you need to do to enter is be number 1 in the rankings for that given army. Check it out at rankingshq.com. You look for the Mantic Games section, and there's loads of information about that there.
Is that number 1 overall or number 1 in your country?
It's in England.
Okay.
I'm not going to go too much into it because I want people to go and find out about it on the site.
Fair enough.
Go over to Rankings HQ and it should be pretty easy to stumble across. There's an article about it up there. So yeah, rankingshq.com. So next up we've got Unseen Lurker. Unseen Lurker issue 4, just we talked about last episode. We give a shout out to some of the articles in there. Some pretty good stuff, weren't they? Lovely Tomb King army in there.
Yeah,
there was
nice.
A battle report, 8th edition battle report, which was quite interesting to read. A bit about War Machine, because they focused on some other games other than just Warhammer. So yeah, good issue. Last issue, number 4 was. So yeah, check them guys out. I know they're going to be launching a competition soon. So we're going to have more details of that. I've been speaking to the man behind the scenes at Unseen Lurker today. So yeah, keep an eye out for some stuff coming from them. So that's unseenlurker.com. So for all your gaming needs in a magazine, rather than what you want to buy this time, it's what you want to read about. So that's it. All parts of the media, isn't it? With the magazines and the podcasts and the forums. Covered, aren't we? So yeah, we've got pretty much everything going on. So one other thing we need to give a shout out to is our latest sponsor we've got on board, and it's Back to Basics. Now, what do you reckon to the Back to Basics stuff, Ben? Because obviously, I imagine you've had a good look at it since we've.
I had a good look around their site. Quite impressed, to be honest with you. Quite impressed. I'm quite looking forward to getting some movement trays ordered and have a real good play with them.
The problem you've got at the moment is you don't know what you want, haven't you?
No. Well, I've got a fair idea of where I want to start when we get back from the ETC regarding 8th edition. So,
yeah. Well, I know I want some Horde movement trays. I want 10 wide, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what else I've been thinking of as well, which I know no one's sort of mentioned. Well, we'll talk about that later, actually, with regards to the formations, but they do any formation you like. So if you do want wider than 10, which might be an option, we'll talk about in a bit.
Oh, dear.
You can,
Ben Curry breaking 8th edition.
No, not really. They can do anything. So just go on. It's back to, that's the number 2, and it's base-ix.com. So it's backtobasics.com. There's a link on our website. They've got a banner up on the top of our website. We're also going to put a link in the show notes. Now, if you do want to buy anything from it, and they do pretty much everything, they do all sorts of basing materials. They do the massive range of resin bases.
Yeah,
they've got the forest
really
stuff,
nice.
And even if you don't play Warhammer, if you play 40k War Machine, they cater for all them game systems as well. In the real nice resin bases. They do magnet bases. All the movement trays can come magnetized. They do their own sort of paintings. They do commission painting, so you can check them out for that. They've started selling bits as well. I think they've got some stuff on there, but the website's still under construction. Parts of it are. Check them out. Pretty much everything, and anything you want, you can get 10% off by putting in the code on purchase with just bad dice.
See how we look after people.
Yeah, we're all good. So, make sure you use that. Obviously, you're supporting Back to Basics. You're also supporting us, because I imagine if they get a lot of trade from our advertising with us, they're going to advertise us again with in future, and that's going to help us bring a better show to you guys. So that's Back to Basics. And I think that's about it for shout-outs, isn't it? Just one more.
Oh, one more.
Ever such a nice young chap.
Can you remember his name?
Adam.
You sure?
Yes. Why do you think I'm wrong?
No, Adam. Adam from Oxford.
A nice young chap called Adam is from Oxford. I didn't get his surname. Should have asked that, actually. But he knows who he is.
Yep.
We were playing Warhammer on Wednesday night at Warhammer World, and he came over and just introduced himself, said hello. He realised who we were, and just wanted to say thanks for the show and all that. And so thanks a lot. So if anyone else sees us while we're out and about, come and say hello. Don't be shy. We
won't bite on it.
No.
If you bring cider...
Even better. Yeah, so I'd be interested, Adam, to email us and let us know how you got on, because you're up in Warhammer World from Oxford playing Inquisitor of all things. So yeah, let us know how you got on with that. So straight into the news then.
Yeah.
White Dwarfs here.
White Dwarfs here. Island of Blood stuff as well. Painting stuff's now on the blog.
Yeah, I've seen this, and some of it's awesome.
Very awesome.
In fact, all of it's awesome. And they're sort of drip feeding you, is it? It's like...
Yeah, that's bloody Smiler, isn't it?
A post today, another picture every day of a different set of models or whatever. It's just, really, really good. Just can't get enough of it.
I'm loving the Griffin.
Oh, yeah?
I really am, yeah. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's stunning.
You going for the old Electrocant on Griffin? No. Well, it's not Electrocant, is it, anymore?
It's General of the Empire.
With 3 attacks and the Runefang.
Yeah. Oh. Telling you, mate, it's the future.
No, it's not.
It is. I'm telling you. First,
okay.
I'm taking that to Warrington. There you go. Heads up.
Right, I'm going to hold you to that. I've got it recorded.
That's fine.
We are 9.5 minutes in on episode 42.
That's
and
fine.
You're taking it to Warrington.
In fairness, I might even take it the Maelstrom one if I decide to go.
If you're allowed to go.
If I'm allowed to go more than anything, yeah. And I can get hold of a Griffin from somewhere.
So when's the Maelstrom one?
It's the weekend we come back. I think we fly back on Monday, and it's the following weekend.
Right, okay. Sounds like a good one, actually, with it being one of the first big 8th edition ones.
Yeah.
So, on the subject of up-and-coming tournaments, sort of in the news section, so I know we weren't going to talk about the ETC, but there's actually an 8th edition event at the ETC. Are you interested in playing in this?
Probably not, to be honest. I can see myself having other things that I want to do.
Yeah, I know what you
Do you know what I mean? I think if it was just one day, I think I might give it a whirl.
Well, how about I play the Thursday and you play the Friday?
I don't want to play the Friday.
Neither
That's
do I.
the biggest thing. I think if it was Thursday, I'd be quite keen. Same with the 7th edition.
Well,
one.
how about we both play the Thursday and drop out? Because there's two of us, it won't mess with the numbers. Sorted. That's an awesome idea.
Not as bad an idea as it sounds, is it?
No.
Yeah, I'd be quite keen to, like I say, more than anything, the 7th edition one. Really, because I think that could get awfully confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's just too much to do, too many people to see.
Yep.
To be doing Warhammer Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Cuts into the drinking time.
Well, I'd like to do it, but I'd also like to. I want to have a look around. I want to walk through the tables, see what's happening on the tables.
Yeah.
Get some interviews with some of the players from the 8th edition event in particular, because obviously people at home, they want to know how the ETC's gone. I'm sure they're not that bothered how a 7th edition side event's gone at all.
No.
But the 8th edition side event, I imagine a lot of people will want to know a lot about it.
I think the 8th edition side event as well could be very cool, just to see what other countries' take on 8th edition is.
Yeah, how many big hordes units are going?
Yeah.
How many people are spamming the war machines and things like that? Just to see what the thoughts are. And
Find out how many folding fortresses there are.
if people are going out to try and break it straight from the off, or if they're trying to just using stuff for fun, or how people are approaching it. I imagine every country are having a different approach to that, and it'd be really interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to that. So news with other tournaments now.
Yeah.
There's sorry, go on.
Other tournaments this weekend, because we're recording Friday night, is the Midlands Open.
Yep.
Just say
Obviously, by the time you listen to this, it'll be done and
dusted. Yeah. Just say good luck to everyone, and especially Luke for running it.
Yeah. He came on the show.
First big event, isn't it?
He came on the show back in
A while ago.
February.
Yeah.
Back to announced that the event was coming and he was going to be running it. And yeah, it's good luck to him.
I think you might need it.
So, also, if you're there and try to look out for two of the American ETC team who will be there playing, Jarrett Messing and his mate Arash are over there. They're playing Lizardmen and High Elf, so keep an eye out for them. Two nice guys I've seen today down at Warhammer World. 8th edition tournaments though. Now you got the Maelstrom one.
Yep.
Cardiff.
Yep.
What else is on?
There's
Next
the
couple of
Warlords in September.
Yep. A Gathering of Might in August.
Gathering of Might's back end of August, isn't it?
Yeah. So if there's any other 8th edition tournaments coming up, can you drop us a mail?
GT?
Let us know if you're running one. The GT, that's November, isn't it? So it's quite a way.
Is it not October?
Something like that.
The Mall?
Yep. There's
That's
plenty.
60-odd players.
They're coming thick and fast. So if you're interested in getting on the tournament bandwagon in 8th, there's plenty out there. Now, what sort of thoughts are you having on these events coming? With regards to rules packs,
I'm a little
like
disappointed, to be honest. I was kind of hoping that people would just play it straight out of the book for a few months, which doesn't seem to be happening.
No, every tournament organiser seems to be trying to turn it into the version of their Hammer.
A lot of them seem to be turning it into 7.5 as well, which I don't know. I can't quite understand. I know people aren't happy about True Line of Sight, aren't happy about the terrain rules, but I don't feel people have given it enough of a chance.
No.
To really play it and see how it works. Certainly at tournament level.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Which like I say, has disappointed me slightly. But it is their event; they can do with it what they want. But it seems, I think people have not just. I think people need to forget seventh edition existed. To be honest,
treat it as if they're picking up the game for the first time.
Yeah, just picked up a book and
ignore
started
any preconceptions they may have had about how things should have and could have worked. And
again, don't get me wrong, if come January time something isn't working or is unmanageable or unplayable at tournament level or even at garage level, then do something about it. Fine, but give it a chance.
Oh yeah, of course.
Give it a chance. It may turn out to be rubbish.
Yeah.
It might, and we might.
It might be unplayable in tournaments. I mean, this is a lot of people on the internet saying it's not going to work at tournaments. It's a great, really awesome, fun game, but the competitiveness has just gone out the window. Now, I can't see that. I still think it'll settle down. Things, all the crazy stuff which is happening is mainly happening because people are taking extreme builds, and things will settle down, and it'll all pan out okay eventually. But you've just got to let it happen. You know what I mean? Don't try and force it.
No.
It'll happen naturally. Once there have been a few events run and things are sticking out as broken, or if you know what I mean, they might not stick out as broken, but if they are sticking out as broken, they will be tweaked. There's no point tweaking them just yet. You need to tweak them as it happens, not before it. No point trying to preempt it.
No, not at all, not at all. But again, it's their tournaments.
Yep,
it is up to them. I'm quite looking forward to the GT, to be honest with you, because I think that will probably be. Oh no, there's a Gathering of Might, which is straight out of the book, isn't it?
Gathering of Might is directly out of the book. Everything's as it is.
And then there's the GT, which again will be straight out of the book. So quite looking forward to them. Never really fancied a Gathering of Might before, but kind of got a bit of appeal at the minute.
You're going to try and get a ticket online? It's sold out, but there's a few
probably
people.
Not, because
too many events.
Well, especially if I can wangle with the wife going to the Maelstrom one. The Gathering of Might is the following weekend.
Oh, okay.
But what I might be tempted to do is pop in on the Sunday and try and pick a ticket up for Gathering of Might 7, 6, whatever the next one is.
Because it'll be January.
They sell them on the Sunday, don't they?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, that's a bit of news on the tournaments that are coming up and sort of in the next few months. So, like I say, if you are running an event, or if you know someone who's running an event, just drop us a line and we can add it to the ever-growing calendar on Rankings HQ, to be fair. I'll be putting it up on there. So, other news. So, we say we've got White Dwarf in front of us, haven't we?
Yeah, that came the other day.
Monday or something. Now, what do you reckon? Demons, there's a lot of it, isn't there?
I think it's a really good one again.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure. I thought it was it's filled with demons, absolutely packed with demons.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. The Warhammer one was just Warhammer. The Demon ones, they're going with whatever the new release is. The magazine is just that, and I'm not sure I like it. Don't get me wrong, the content in it is really good.
The last two have been sound because it's a release I'm very interested in.
Yeah, I suppose that. But
if it was a Lord of the Rings release, I probably wouldn't be that bothered. Because I don't play Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, the content in it is great, and there's some good articles, but I'm not so sure on the making every page be a demon page, and then next issue, I'm sure every page will be an Island of Blood page.
Well, I don't know. Again, if you like the subject, it's going to be a very good magazine.
Fair enough,
isn't it?
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say to that, or you end up with a magazine that you only actually read a third of, or then do you get a magazine now that you might read none of?
Yeah,
it's a tricky one, isn't it?
It is tricky, especially when you subscribe and it comes through your door. You've already paid for it, and then it comes and it's not great. So, I don't know. Well, what's in it anyway, other than just demons? What sort of demon stuff in there?
Well, there's the new pictures of the new stuff. Obviously, the horrors, the blood crushers, the seekers. There's no.
Okay, so for anyone that hasn't seen these yet, I mean, we've talked about the pictures being released on a previous episode, but run through them a bit. What we got them? So we've got the new horrors, plastic horror.
The new plastic horrors, 10 of them, £15, command options and all that jazz. And to be honest with you, I wasn't sure when I saw the single photo of a 40k one on a round base, and I thought, not sure on that. But now seeing them ranked up,
because they're on a square base, you like them. Is that what you're saying?
No. It's because there was just the one.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I thought I wanted to see them ranked up, and in the battle report later on, there's a big block of them.
Yeah, like 20 of them or something.
And they do look like the gibbering horde. That sort of got in my mind's eye.
I'm not sure on the pink. I know the pink horrors, and you've got to paint pink because of IP and crap like that. But I'd like to see them in a few different colours, like blues or purples or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the old ones because they were obviously coming out of each other, weren't they? So the ones that were coming out were blue.
Yep.
But you don't really have that with these ones. They're more like a gibbering mouth with arms. There's blood crushers, 3 of them for £32.50.
It's a bit of a strange price with a 50p on the end.
It is a bit, isn't it? But to be honest, I think that's quite good value.
I don't know. We've had this conversation already. It's like £32.50 is a lot of money for one small unit. But then when you look, £12 each for a Juggernaut hero, that's not bad, is it?
Big old models.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I'm undecided on that. I can see both sides of the argument on that one. £32 is a lot, but then how much are 4 ogres, or what, is it 3 ogres on a sprue?
6 in a box, isn't there?
6 in a box of ogres.
Yeah, I think they're £18, £20.
There you go.
Oh well, anyway, price we could go on forever.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's seekers as well. 5 seekers, £15.
Now that is good price.
I don't think anyone can argue with that.
That's a really, really good price, I think.
Which I really like. I really like the seekers. I wasn't sure But yeah, I do like them. There's a good interview with, well, I say interview, design talk with, I think it's Juan Diaz, is it? No, sorry, Alex Hedstrom.
And he talks about designing them.
Talks about doing them, yeah, saying that they tried to mould the seahorse type ones from 5th edition with the sleek ones that was Juan Diaz, wasn't it? That did them, trying to mould them both together. Talking about that, also talking about how all the claws that you get in the pack are bigger. Because he says he was thinking about them riding past and reaching down and chopping people's heads off.
Oh, right, okay. So they're bigger than the infantry ones?
Yeah, they're all bigger
than
the
infantry ones. So if you want to swap and change with your infantry ones, it'd look quite good.
So that's quite cool. And there's also the new Demon Prince, the plastic one.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a write-up about how it's been around for ages as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, again, it's Mark Harrison who's done it, and in the design bit, whatever you want to call it.
They've got a whole section on the chaos stuff, the demon stuff.
The guys who've made them and stuff. It says there, if you've been looking, you'll have seen it in background photos for quite some time. It's been knocking about a while, but they've only just decided to release it.
Did they say why they'd been showing it but not released it?
No, it doesn't say anything about that. I assume it's just the fact that they've now got something to release it with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Rather than just something on its own.
Yeah. And there's also the Kairos.
Yeah, which is kind of gorgeous, but I'd like to see it painted a bit more ragged paint job, because the paint job on that one's pristine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It rivals the Changeling and things like that, which are absolutely on the button, just technically awesome, but I think it could have done with a bit more battered and bruised paint job.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you as well. It doesn't quite look the bashed up thing that I'm sort of expecting.
No.
And then there's the Changeling, like Ben's just said, which is
going to get used in everything, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
See, I'm going to have one as an elf. Cut the bottom 2 arms off, just have the top 2 arms, and that's an elf wizard casting a fireball or something. You know what I mean?
I'd be tempted to cut the arms off anyway.
What, use it as a Changeling? You don't like the 2 extra arms?
No, they don't. I'm not sure if they fit quite right, but other than that, to be honest, it's like probably top 3 models they've done.
Yeah, I think so. So, okay, on the subject of top 3 models, what would be the other 2 in the top 3, do you think?
Queek and Snitch.
Queek and Snitch, straight in there?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can't argue with that.
No, I can, yeah. And they're both recent, and it goes to show your favourite top 3 models of recent ones.
Definitely. Yeah, they're stunning. Absolutely stunning. There's no, sprue diagram.
Normally they do the blowout of the sprue, don't they?
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame. I do like that.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's something they've just overlooked and not shoved in, or if they've decided to stop doing that. Because they did it for the Trolls, didn't they?
I think they did it for the Boar Boys, but not the Trolls. I think it's probably down to the fact that they've got 4 plastic kits out.
And all right, okay, and they probably can't do them all.
It's a space issue, isn't it? So yeah, that's not in there. But hey ho, there's a bit of tactics, which demons push it forward, roll 5s.
Demons, line up your special characters and shove it to the middle.
Yeah, a couple of sample army lists, War of the Ring article, ignore that.
Now, what's that bit about the John Blanche article?
Yeah,
there's quite an interesting one there, isn't he? 4 or 5 pages of pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it's Andy Hall sat down with John Blanche and discussed demons and the ideas behind them, and it's a very good read, actually. Talking about the realm of chaos and what it is and what it looks like and that sort of thing. Saying in here that it looks different to different people and different races. So he says that if elves saw the Garden of Nurgle, it'd be different from what the humans see, which is kind of interesting. And how it's forever changing as well. Funny that.
What about the pictures he drew, the small ones?
Oh yeah, I think
so
he calls them vignettes. I think he calls them. There's
a double page spread of like a 20 small pictures.
It's in the new rulebook. I'm not sure if it's in the Demon book as it is there, but it's in the new Warhammer rulebook. Basically, it's like 6 pictures of Khorne stuff, 6 pictures of Tzeentch stuff, 6 pictures of Nurgle and Slaanesh. And he speaks in here about how they were drawn and painted as quickly as possible to give the impression of like speed and craziness. And
yeah, the faster he's painting them, it's like a rapidly scrawled bit of artwork. Now, I know he gets a lot of bad press for sort of he can't draw, he just scrolls, and I don't know. It's some of his stuff it's not really to my taste, but then there's some stuff on there which is just stunning.
To people who say he can't draw, look at was it 4th or 5th edition 40k, the Black Templar one. He
Okay.
did the box art for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Fair
And
enough.
if you've ever actually seen the painting in Warhammer World, it's amazing. It's absolutely stunning.
Yep.
And it's huge as well. The actual bit that they use just for the box is like a third of the picture. It's well, the man's talented.
This is his chosen style. And
this is how he just wants to draw.
massively talented. And yeah, some of the stuff is a bit not to my taste, but then other bits are just awesome. And the character that is in the pictures, and then when you can see that transposed onto a model,
Well,
it's just great.
the Kairos drawing that he's got there, the figure's basically that drawing in 3D.
Yeah, of course it is. And the Screamers, the
Yeah.
Furies, it's all stuff where it's been taken from his drawings and turned into figures. Okay, so is that the magazine pretty much?
No, there's a good battle report called Revenge of the Fate Weaver.
Yeah,
which is-
there's a nice little story at the start as well, isn't there? How Marathi tried to summon Fate Weaver, and because obviously his two heads, one sees the future, one sees the past, he knew this was coming, so he sort of arranged with the Changeling to be as part of the summoning process, and the Changeling sabotaged the summoning process, which allowed Fate Weaver to come unbound rather than bound to Marathi's power, and then he just ravaged her bodyguard and turned them all into demons, and then they had a battle report, which was Matt Ward and
Matt Hudson.
Matt Hudson and Matt Ward.
Matt Hudson.
And
Oh,
you can't find
his
a name.
Oh dear.
Okay,
definitely
anyway, they just go at each other with demons and dark elves, and it is literally Kairos flying around zapping Marathi all game, isn't it? Until he eventually just goes away.
Yeah, it basically is described as going home because he has a bit of a miscast and
Blows himself to pieces.
goes home.
Goes back to the Chaos Waste.
Yeah. It's quite a good battle report, to be honest.
Yeah, so what do you think to the how they're doing it with the showing the scores along the way? Because they've changed the formats of the battle reports many times over the years, haven't they?
Yeah. I quite like it. I'd like it to be a little bit more detailed because it tends to be like a double page in the magazine is one turn, both players' turns.
Yep.
I don't think they did that in the one we did they?
No,
I think it was individual, which I personally prefer.
because there's more steps.
More steps, and it's not quite as messy, almost. But no, it's a good read, to be honest with you. Again, quite interesting, some of the armies. The Horde of Dark Elf Spearmen.
Yeah, it's nice to see some. The armies look pretty solid as well. It's not just like a typical White Dwarf list.
No,
It's-
other
you
than the multitude of special characters. Because the demons have got Kairos, they've got Epidemus, they've got the Mask, they've got the Changeling.
Yeah, and the Dark Elves have got Marathi.
Yeah.
But other than that, it does seem like pretty solid list, like something you'd see on the table anyway. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the fact that they fill the battle report with pictures rather than, I don't know. It is good. Are you never going to get no tactical brilliance out of them? But,
Oh, no. But again...
to see awesome terrain. I mean, they've got a big Throne of Schools thing on the middle of there, haven't they? Temple of Schools, and awesome terrain with two awesome armies going
Yeah.
at it. You can't go wrong, really, can you?
I mean, there's still some bits almost... like there's a bit of description of how channeling works in a box to one side. Strikes me as still sort of like 8th edition being new. Maybe that's why that's in there. Yeah, good.
Excellent. So, what else is in there? Oh, it's that exciting.
There's Standard Bearer. Jervis talking about narrative play. So naming your units, naming your characters, that sort of thing.
What caught my eye was his the top right corner of this page. There's like a picture out of his journal.
No,
which,
it's not his. It's Dom Murray's.
Or Don Murray's journal, where he's drawn a map of a scenario with a little bit of key below it. Then all the rest of the page is just filled with text of description of how he wants the scenario to work and the story. And it looks like someone's got a geek book just like ours, and he's been scrolling in it during the day and making ideas and notes. Really good.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Just talking about how if your characters have got names, you get a bit more involved in it, and it's another level. Maybe lost on tournament players.
Well, I don't know. We're going to be doing a campaign shortly after the ETC. We're going to have one coming up with some more information on that in the future, I hope. And I think that's about it for White Dwarf, then, isn't it?
There's a bit of a demon terrain making article. Not so much making, more theming it around demons, like the Blood Shrine of Khorne. Basically, they played it as an altar of Khorne. Altar of Cain, sorry, so your friends is within 6. It's got a big corn symbol on that sort of thing. I quite like the Altar of Endless Malice. It's an Arcane Ruin set on a flying base that floats around blasting people.
Oh, wicked.
It's quite cool. Might make one of them.
You've made enough terrain, mister.
I know.
You should have been painting Empire and you've been making terrain instead.
I know.
So I think that's about it for White Dwarf.
Yep.
So there's probably plenty more news out, but stuff we've just overlooked because it's been hectic weeks recently, isn't it? Obviously, Island of Blood is out within the next sort of month.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's all good. I think that's about it for the news. We'll take a short break, then we'll come back and we're going to talk about our week in Warhammer because it has literally been a week, hasn't it? So
yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Unseen Lurker is a new, exciting gaming magazine covering gaming, tactics, hobby, modelling, reviews, interviews, and even the occasional zebra. Each issue has a quarter of the magazine available for download so you can try before you buy. It's the first independent global magazine encompassing articles from generals and hobbyists all over the world. Every issue of Unseen Lurker, that's Lurker with an E, is packed with giveaways such as custom dice, t-shirts, as well as the Game of the Month as reviewed by our Unseen Lurker test dummies. For more information, check out unseenlurker.com.
Hey dudes, just want to take a minute to tell you about the next big thing in wargaming. Rankings HQ is the new home for not only rankings across all game systems, but the latest social networking site for gamers around the world, including articles, image galleries, and heaps more. Create an account, track your personal progress, and compare results amongst friends and other gamers worldwide. Think you're the best gamer in town? Prove it at rankingshq.com. Join today.
And we're back from the break. You've just heard the dulcet tones of Jeff Carroll there, giving Rankings HQ a nice
Dulcet
little plug.
tones, eh?
Yeah.
Blimey.
And before that, obviously, the Unseen Lurker guys. So, yeah, check out them. Check out both of them, particularly Unseen Lurker, because I think it's getting better and better with every issue, and the more people that buy it, the more pages they can cram into the future ones.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how it tends to work in the magazine world. Obviously, it's easy for us. We can just record for hours and hours and hours. And
Yeah, it doesn't cost us anything.
No, the more people that listen, the more hours we can cram in.
The more people that listen, the bigger your head gets.
Yeah, that's it. So, moving swiftly on into the our weeks in Warhammer, as it is, rather than our fortnights in fantasy. Now we're on a weekly format. We're going to start. What we're going to do, we're not just going to do the week in Warhammer. We're going to sort of run it into a bit of a feature in this episode as well, which is our general 8th edition thoughts. Now that we've played a dozen games each.
I've not quite played a dozen, but yeah, played a few.
So we'll have a quick. We'll start with our stuff away from the gaming. We'll move quickly into our gaming side of it, and then we'll elaborate on that to what we've sort of discovered about 8th edition since we've started playing it. So, what have you been doing, dude? Other than the odd game here and there, you been doing much else?
Well, I sort of abandoned my Empire. Figured I'm not going to get them 100% finished for the ETC. It was just too much to do.
Well, they're all painted to a gaming standard.
Oh yeah, they're all base coated and inked and sand on the bases and stuff like that. So yeah, they're perfectly acceptable to be using. But I was hoping just to go over and re-highlight everything, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Might get some of it done. You have technical difficulties there?
Yeah, my headphones aren't working. I can't hear you, but the mixer's working, so it's fine.
Okay. So last Sunday I sat down and made a load more terrain, which I really enjoyed doing.
I tell you what, you must have some money to be throwing at all this terrain.
It's been in the cupboard for a while.
Yeah.
Bits and bobs I've picked up along the way. And to be honest as well, a lot of it is just...
So first off, how have you been deciding what to go at? Have you just been seeing a picture of something and going, right, I'm making one of them?
Seeing a picture of something and going, right, I'm making one of them. Reading the rules in the book and going, what can I make that out of? And also as well with what bits and bobs I've got knocking about. Is basically it. Nothing more than that. It's like I did an Isle of Gork because I had a spare Forge World Isle of Gork, as you do. There's a long story involved in that, in fairness, but anyway. So that's it, really. No real, I want to do this, I want to do that. Just what have I got, or what can I fashion? Yeah. Just like over the weekend, I made a tower, I made a house, Games Workshop stuff.
I noticed you stove the roof in on the house. Well.
Yeah, I'd seen that in White Dwarf and thought, oh, that looks kind of cool. Give that a go.
Now, how did you do that? Is anyone who wants to see photos of the stuff Ben's made, if you sign up to the Snake Eyes section It's basically sign up to the forums for a forum account, and then you can upgrade your account to the Snake Eyes section. Pretty cheap. It's only £10 for the year, and you get to see all the premium content stuff like this, like the photos of what we've been working on and all that sort of craziness. We've got loads of extra content on there, recording wise. And Ben's been doing a terrain blog, so there's photos. Some pretty good stuff of all the things he's been making, sort of work in progress, and as they painted, finished articles, things like that. So this house we're looking at, it's a normal Games Workshop house.
Yeah, it's I think it's called the Chapel.
Okay.
Basically, I built the walls and then clipped the sprue off the roof off the sprue, and looked at it and thought, I'm going to put a big hole in that. Seen it in White Dwarf, thought, that looks cool, can't be that hard. So sort of held them together on the roof, drew with a marker pen a rough hole-sized bit, and set about it with a pair of pliers that you gave me.
Oh, right, okay.
You know your old the ones with
side cutters, with a big hole in
the middle,
blown up,
and then just sort of started snipping, snipped out the rough shape, and then cut away with a craft knife the individual roof tiles, because obviously they're going to fall off individually.
Yeah.
And that was it, really.
What's the wood that you put in between it? Because it looks like some of the lats are still there.
Yeah, it's basically you get like signs and things on the chapel sprue and some bits and bobs like a chariot yoke and that sort of thing, just because it's got a bit of wood grain on. Stuck that inside so it looks like, say, like the lats are still there. Pretty easy, to be honest with you. Just be careful when you're cutting through it. It's quite thick plastic, especially.
So to get some wood effect, looking like a little bit of wood, you went out and found some plastic that looked like wood instead of just using wood.
Yes, I mean what I would have done if I didn't have that tan was balsa wood and then draw wood grain on it with a pencil.
Why is that?
Because it makes it easier.
It indents it.
Yeah, it indents it, and then when you paint it, it's a lot easier to paint.
Yeah.
Up here for thinking.
Yeah.
And then on the side of it, just stuck a load of rocks. And
like it'd been rock clobbered and the rocks had tumbled down.
Yeah, basically. And then I made a bane stone. Again, this is one of the things like, I read the rules and went, what can I make that out of? And I thought, stones.
Okay, so how would you... All it is, again, people looking at this, is put a title on it on the pictures. Bane stone. So you've got a 50mm hole saw.
75mm hole cutter that I use for work.
And cut a perfect circle. You don't have to use a hole cut for this. You can use any saw. Just be careful if you're doing it at home.
Or a base.
Safety first. Or 70mm base for Warhammer or for 40k, isn't it? A Dreadnought base or something.
Yeah.
And just pad a load of slate out the garden on it.
Yeah.
And just different sizes to make one big tall stone.
That's it.
What are you going to do with that? What did you glue it down with?
Mitre Bond.
So anyone who don't know what Mitre Bond is?
Go to B&Q, ask for Mitre Bond.
Right, okay, fair enough. It's a two-part glue, isn't it?
It's a pot of glue, and it's a like a can of deodorant sized thing, and it's just called Accelerator, and it dries super glue real quick.
Now, the Mitre Bond's also a gel type super glue, isn't it? So it sort of fills the gaps. It's not a runny Games Workshop style watery super glue, is it?
One I've got is.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep.
So you could do it with just normal super glue then. Would it be strong enough to hold the terrain?
It would be, but it'd take a heck of a lot of drying.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? This is
the activator.
Yeah, literally hold it together, spray it with this stuff, done.
Now, for those in the UK, I know Screwfix do a nice activator, two-part activator for about £6 a tub.
Yep. And if you buy 10, you get it for like a £5.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good. That is. I've used that in the past. Not so good for doing miniatures, but for terrain, it's excellent because it's a thick gel type one, and it really, really gets in all the cracks. And
stuff I use is Evo. It's called Evo Stick. I think it's called Mitre Fast. It's in a dark green box, and I've been using that for a long time. Stick models together with terrain, everything.
Now, we do have a glue gun.
Yes.
Would you be interested in that, or do you not think it's strong enough?
It probably is strong enough, but again, it's a bit more faffing.
Oh, okay.
This stuff, split it on, spray it with spray, done.
Okay. I just thought the glue gun sort of melts the plastic a bit and it more bonds it together rather than making a brittle.
I think you'd be all right for sort of sticking it down to. I'm not sure how you'd go about sticking stuff together without it showing.
Yeah, okay.
If you know what I mean. But worth a try, maybe.
Yep, so that's your Bane Stone. What else have we got?
I made a Sinister statue.
Now, you've used part of the Arcane Ruins set, haven't you?
Yeah, again, Arcane Ruin kit. I use the tower for an Elven Waystone, I think. I've used a couple of the pillars for other things. The Sinister statue is literally one of the pillars on another 75mm bit of ply with a plastic dark elf stuck on.
Yeah, you're just gonna what you're gonna do? Spray.
Well, I've painted that. I've painted the Banestone. I've painted the stone circle, but I've not put any photos up yet.
The photos will all be up by the time you hear this episode, though. I'm
Yes,
sure.
they will.
Yep.
Yes. To be honest, some more might as well because another Grand Prix to watch at the weekend. So
Oh right, okay.
painting
Is this
time.
getting the Grand Prix on and do the painting?
I'm not allowed to watch it downstairs.
Oh, well. So you go
basically.
to your man cave.
Yeah, into the man cave and paint. So yeah, it's the old. I think it's 4th edition plastic Dark Elves that they did years and years ago. I looked at quite cool. So that's stuck on there. Blazing Barricade.
Now you just got a normal barricade set, didn't you? And just green stuff, some fire.
Yeah, basically the little walls and hedges set. A bit of a ladder on there. Some actual fire bits off the flagellant sprue, and then another couple of bits and bobs just made out of green stuff. Not very well, but once it's whacked with paint, it'll be fine.
Yep.
And then a stone circle, which again, like I said, is the broken pillars from the Arcane Ruins set.
So you used a plywood base.
Yeah.
10-inch across.
No, only probably 5.
Oh right, okay. It looks bigger in the photo, and a few of the. So you got like a stone circle, and you've drawn a pentagram on the floor. What's that in filler?
Yeah, bit of wood filler, bit of just what's it called?
Polyfiller.
Polyfiller, yeah,
Like
that's
you
the
fill
stuff.
cracks in your wall.
Yeah, basically. Spoon it on, spread it out, sword.
Then end of a pencil to draw a star in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks pretty impressive. And you say all this is painted.
that's painted. Yeah, the Banestone and the Sinister Statue are, and then I've got an Abyssal Wood, which is the one that causes fear, I think, in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically Games Workshop wood with no leaves stuck on.
Yeah.
Easy as that. And then I've got a Venom Thicket, which is another Games Workshop wood with some leaves stuck on, and then a load of spiders that I'm going to stick in
Now
it.
you've used the school pass spiders, and you've got some of the old Warhammer Quest spiders.
Yeah. I've been having a bit of a clear out, and I've stumbled across a load of odds and sods.
What did it used to be called? It was the creature. No, you used to get a box set with bats,
to do
spiders.
a swarm set, didn't they?
Yeah.
With the plastic sprue from Questin, which was spiders, rats, bats, snotlings, and I think another, but I can't remember. So I found a load of rats as well, which is going to come in handy.
Yeah, I imagine.
Plastic rats. So they're going to get stuck in the trees because that one you get poison attacks from.
Yeah.
And then a scree slope, which is just a GW hill
With
stuck
loads of crap
together
stuck on
with
it.
a load of rocks stuck on it. Again, slate out the garden, all from B&Q. And that's it. So, yeah, some of that's painted now. I'll try and get some more of it done over the weekend, I think.
Now everything you've done, you've used the Games Workshop stuff for. Now, is it just because you're a fanboy?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just asking the question. I'm sure some of the listeners might not want to spend the sort of money that you'd be looking at to get all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's been in the cupboard a while. I'm sure I won a load at some point as a prize for something, a tournament somewhere, but I can't remember. And I've been buying a few bits and bobs because I had a load of terrain that I made years ago. I mean, really years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's all really, really old. And
Which is basically just railway trees stuck on bases on flocked MDF, which is all right, but there's such better options out there now.
yeah,
And I've just gone with the Games Workshop stuff because, especially the woods,
because it's easy.
it's easy and it looks great, and it's
Yep.
actually quite practical in the game. That's another thing as well. We're talking about the people not liking the terrain rules. I think if you're going to make terrain, especially for 8th, you need to have a bit of 8th edition in mind, if you know what I mean. Like, you can't get away now with a wood with one tree on, like we've done for a long time. Whereas the Games Workshop ones, they've got 3 trees on. If you put a load of the leaves on, you can pretty much block it from
Yeah,
seeing
you will
through.
block line of sight. I mean, next time I go to a tournament, I'm taking Dark Elves, 2,500 points, you get 4 Manticores in.
Yeah,
Half a dozen woods with 10,000 trees in.
Yeah.
Block line of sight to everything.
yeah. Well, we spoke
I'm
about
just messing.
we've spoke about this before. The Games Workshop trees have got a big rooty bit on them, and I've put a shield on all the bases, so you can point the roots at that, so you know where they've come from and which direction they were facing. So that stops any arguing or any potential problems, which is kind of handy. And also as well, I don't know if people have picked up on this. All the mystical monuments, are they called, are impassable terrain.
Yeah.
So
You can still see through it, but you can't move through
but
it.
you can't move through it unless you're fleeing. And I don't know, do you bounce through it?
Oh, I'm not entirely
Impassable
sure about the
terrain.
book in front of me.
because obviously now it's impassable. You can make it however you want. You don't have to think, I need to get men in it or balance a movement tray in it because they can't go in it.
Yeah.
So like the Stone Circle, you'd never get people in there unless it was a single model, a skirmisher.
And I think in 7th edition, people were reluctant to use impassable terrain because obviously you've got woods, which you can't really move in.
Yeah.
You've got hills, which you can move over, that's fine. You've got rocky ground, which blocks line of sight, you can't really move in. You've got buildings, which some people didn't use the rules for them, so impassable. And then to put another piece of impassable on, it just closes up the whole board. But now, with everything being so free moving, the odd bit of impassable terrain, even if it's quite large, it will sort of suit the battlefield well.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world because that's just the one thing you can't move through, where everything else is fine. And also as well, it's not as powerful now. If you flee through it, you don't die.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, some of you probably die, but not all of you, which is good. But I did like the bit about it being impassable because, like I say, you can make it mental and crazy and whatever you want, really. You don't have to worry about getting men in it.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, I've got a photo as well of everything. I think I've painted 15 bits of terrain so far, spread out on my desk.
You're on a mission.
I say my desk, my wife's desk. It looks great.
So we need to stop playing some games. You need a table set up at your house.
Yes, I'm on that. That's my next plan.
Are you going to do a complete board?
I'm toying with buying a Realm of Battle.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been looking on eBay.
All right. So what are you planning to do with a Realm of Battle?
Basically, paint it up to match the terrain.
Yeah.
Because the terrain I've painted to match my Empire army.
Oh, yeah, okay. So does that mean the next army you do is going to have to match your Empire army as well?
Yeah. So I've got that plan for the Skaven, so that matches as well.
Right. I think I might paint my next army to match as well then. That'd be awesome.
I figured you'd be robbing my stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So is there anything else you've been doing? You're putting me to shame here. I said to you sat down a minute ago and said, what we're doing, what's the next segment? Again, leaving it to me. I'm like, we're going to do Week in Warhammer. And you looked at me and was like, I've not done anything. I was like, are you sure? I didn't. You've just talked for 20 minutes, just you, about what you've been doing when apparently you've done nothing.
I've done a bit.
You've done plenty. You've done loads.
I've had it every week.
Yeah. So anything else?
Play some games.
Okay, we'll talk about them in a minute then. Any other painting or anything else away from the hobby?
No, that's it. Oh, no, one thing. Actually, not this week. It was the week before. I went to see a play.
Oh, yeah?
Not really prepared for this, but oh well. It's a friend of my wife's boyfriend. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Yeah. He's found a theatre in Derby. Okay, start from the start. He's got a bit of a theatre group called the Lost Boys. They were looking for somewhere to rehearse, and they were rehearsing in the old Waterfall Gym, for people who know Derby, opposite the train station. So they're rehearsing in there one day, and they come the next day, and the place was full. So this is all, we've had a double booking. But there's a room next door. There's a lot of crap in it, but you can, enough room for you guys to rehearse in. So they go in there, basically under this big pile of rubbish, crap, old weights and that sort of thing, a sunbed as well, apparently. They found a stage, cleared it off, did a bit of research, found that this place was originally a theatre back in 18-something, and they're trying to renovate it. Basically, they need 216 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, to renovate it. They've applied for lottery grants and national heritage and all that sort of thing because the front of it's a listed building, but the inside isn't.
Okay.
So I went to see one of their productions. A guy's called Ben. Can't remember his second name.
Another Ben.
Yeah. I can't remember the other guy's name. Oh, I think it was Neil.
And was it good?
It was great. Yeah, they did Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
Just the
two of them playing all the parts. Yeah, the girls, the boys, the lot, and it was really, really good. I wasn't expecting it to be at all, but it was great. So trying to.
Just give them a plug, eh?
Give them a plug, which is kind of difficult. So they don't really have a website. They don't really have a Facebook or a Twitter, which I was astounded by for saying they were trying to get publicity and maybe raise a bit of money.
So if you want to find out about these, you've got to come to Derby and you've got to walk around the streets until you see a poster.
Pretty
and
much,
hope that the poster's fairly recent.
Yeah,
you've not missed a date.
Which baffled me because they're all quite intellectual types. And when I says, "Do you have a Facebook?" No. What about Twitter? No, not really. You got a website? No. Great.
Insane.
Yeah, baffled me a bit, that did. But yeah, hopefully they're going to get on that. and try and get this some money raised and get this place renovated. And one of the first things I did think when I went into the place was, this would be good for a tournament.
Yeah, you saying that you looked at it and thought, ooh, planning for the future. Yeah,
definitely.
Certainly, it's one of the things you do tend to do when you. I know I've done it a lot. I went down to Newquay at the weekend, and I was thinking how good it would be to have a tournament in Newquay, and where could you hold it?
Fistral Blue.
Yeah, well, it's something.
Moving the tables like that.
But yeah, it's everywhere you go. It's like, oh, it'd be good for a tournament here. So yeah, is that your week in Warhammer then, other than your games? So I've been doing all sorts of stuff really.
Like what?
Been down Cornwall, had a little holiday. Obviously not very Warhammer orientated. Been to work again, not very Warhammer orientated.
Yeah, he's got a job.
You can see a theme running here, can't you? I've not really done much. Been a bit hectic, rushed off my feet really. We recorded on the Friday, and then I went straight down to Cornwall Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Got the show up on the Monday night when I got back. I did read the Warrior Priest book by Darius Hinks over the weekend, so I managed to get a copy of that from the Black Library, and them guys there sent it over, so I was quite chuffed about that. Thanks to the Black Library. Had a good read through it, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. I read it in like 4 days. Just whenever I had a few minutes downtime, a couple of pages, you know what I mean? And really, really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would, because I'm not really a big fan of like the Empire, a whole sort of mythos, and you know what I mean, the scene of the whole Empire thing.
Is that not just what Warhammer is at the minute, though? It seems very Empire centric.
It isn't. I mean, obviously you had the Malekith ones, which I loved, the Nagash ones, which I also loved. They were, you know what I mean, no Empire in them. I didn't think I enjoy reading a lot of fantasy books, which tends to be fantasy about men. And again, that's the Empire for general fantasy. I didn't think I would enjoy the Warhammer Empire, because I thought it'd be like normal fantasy book with the Games Workshop stomping all over it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't at all. I really enjoyed it. It's about a warrior priest who it's just he's already an established high level warrior priest, and it's about his sort of quest to find his.
Does he get a war otter?
Not in this one. But apparently there's more future ones, so maybe. It's about him and his entourage of how he goes around stomping on chaos, and it's pretty good. It's not just and now he fought this and smashed it, and now he fought that and smashed it.
And
no,
he
it
rubbed
is
his finger along the blade of his axe and
with
smashed
the blood and then smashed it. No, it's it was pretty good, and some of the descriptive stuff, particularly the demons and the demon princes. Really, really, really enjoyed the book. So I think that's coming out in November. So anyone keep an eye out for that, Warrior Priest by Darius Hinks. And I'd thoroughly recommend it. I really enjoyed it.
I'll have to borrow that then for Jimmy.
I enjoyed it so much so that I've now got the reading bug again. So I'm on the lookout for books to read. So if anyone can recommend anything, Games Workshop or not, just get on the forums, and I'll stick a post to actually books.
Red Dwarf, read that. It's great.
Yeah, no, I'm not so sure on that. I've been pointed in the direction of Lies of Loch Lamora by a guy called Scott Lynch. Popped into Waterstones last week to pick it up, and apparently they had 2 copies in stock and they couldn't find them anywhere. So I haven't managed to pick that up. So we'll see. I also quite fancy the Bloodborne, the Vampire Black Library we talked about last episode. So I think we're going to pick one of them up for our Germany trip.
I'll borrow this Warrior Priest.
I'll give you the Warrior Priest. I definitely recommend the Warrior Priest. The other thing I need to read the Horus Heresy, because I haven't. It's 15 of them, so it shouldn't take me long to power through them.
What, through 15 books? No, not long at all.
You reckon? Well, no, if I've read one in a weekend.
Well, that's true.
One a week, 15 weeks.
I read maybe two a year.
Well, fair enough. I love to read, but I just don't get time.
Yeah.
But when I do, I blitz them. You know what I mean? And then I'll read 3 or 4 books back to back, and then I'll not read. You know what I mean? I'll just, for whatever reason, I won't, and I won't get into. Like, I've got the rest of the Gunslinger Stephen King series to read. Got them. I picked up the whole series bar 1 book.
Yeah.
So I've read the first 3, missing book 4. So I've dropped it. You know what I mean? I need to pick up book 4 of that. Maybe I should do that before I pick up any others, because I've got the next. Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up having to go back and read 1 and 3, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I think that's enough bookiness. On the back to Warhammer, painting. I've done a bit. I've painted some War Machine stuff again, moving away from Warhammer. I painted a few bits of that. Not too exciting with that one though. And I've been painting silver helms of all things. My high elves have been getting a bit of painting love, and I couldn't really be bothered to paint my 50 bowmen because I just couldn't bring myself to start them. So I thought, well, I'll do
Are they
silver
the
helms.
unarmoured ones?
Bowmen.
Metals?
No, my bowmen are all plastics, but I think they've been built, because I didn't stick them together, they've been built using spearmen, so they've got chainmail on. Well, not chainmail, they've got the scale armour on of the high elf spears, and they've got the archer arms and heads.
Okay.
So I'll make a start on them eventually, but silver realms, like 30 of them, back from when they were the new hotness from Broken. So you have you buy them in bulk. Yeah. Now that no one uses them, I don't know what I'm going to do with 30 silver helms. I might have to use them all in one unit, see if they're any good when you take them en masse. I don't think there will be.
Don't even know what to say to that. 30 silver helms in one unit? That'd be a hell of a movement, Trey.
Maybe I just put the front rank of Dragon Princes and pretend all the ones behind it are Dragon Princes as well. That might work. So yeah, that's what I've been doing with a painting side of things.
Very good.
Other than that, not a lot really. Played one
High elves
game.
then, do you think, for the new one?
I don't know. I'm just
back?
well, what it is. I'm selling my Wood Elves, selling my Tomb Kings. Don't want to play Dark Elves while I'm playing ETC Dark Elves.
Yep.
Playing my High Elves is a bit of fun. I'm itching to paint a new army. Really, really itching to buy and paint a new army. Because I've been out of work for a while, couldn't really justify buying any new figures. So I've been ploughing through what I've got in the shed to paint up. And
it really is a shed, listeners.
Yeah, I've got a shed.
Not kidding. End of the garden, shed.
So ploughing through what I've got in the shed already, and it's basically a high elf army, quite a large one as well. So
I've got a lot, haven't you?
I'm sort of enjoying them at the moment. So we're starting a campaign when we get back from the ETC. I've told them it's high elf. I've told the campaign organizer it's Dark Elves I'm using, but it might be high elves. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sticking with the Empire.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Good stuff. So
well, it's like getting a new army, isn't it? New edition.
Yeah, it is a bit.
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with them, purely for the fact that I need to paint some Skaven.
Yeah.
Which, well, I need to build some Skaven to start with, but I've got a bit of a deal on an Island of Blood, or several Island of
You're
Bloods.
buying 2 sets and swapping both your high elf sets for Dark Elf for
Skaven.
Skaven.
Yeah, so that's a lot of Skaven.
Yeah, it is. It's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so Warhammer, playing it.
Before we do that, that's the point. We should start a thread about that. A swap shop.
Yeah,
for,
what we'll do on
Island of Blood.
on the forums. So go on, if you're buying Island of Blood and you don't want both parts of it, go on the forum. We'll have a swap shop for organising people to make a deal and swap their bits for other bits. Check out the forum. It'll be up there by the time you hear this. Good idea, Ben.
I have one every so often.
So Warhammer, hey. I think we'll have a quick break and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about our latest games of Warhammer 8th and how we sort of see the 8th game now that we've played a few. So we'll have a quick break, then we're back in a second. Do you play 40k? Do you enjoy the dynamic movement and the line of sight flexibility that the game has to offer? Is it the guns and tanks and alien monsters that do it for you? What you need is Warhammer Army's Lizardmen. This army packs enough firepower to decimate your average Land Raider in no time at all. They move and shoot in all directions, and every model is an all-adventure hero. Co.uk and get 10% off at Lizardman Army. You also get free shipping to anywhere in the UK. Odd Games also stock a wide range of wargaming products, so be sure to check them out. www.oddgames.co.uk. Okay, so we're back from the break. We're going to talk all about 8th edition, what we've been up to with our games, how we're finding it so far, because we've played a fair few now. I've played probably about a dozen, maybe more, maybe pushing 15 games.
No, I've not played as many as that.
And yeah, so just general thoughts after we've been broken in nice and gently and played a few. I'll have a quick rundown of the game I played this week, give my thoughts on that, and then we can sort of expand it from there. So I thought you'd played some 8th edition, but apparently you'd played 7th.
No, I
you?
played 2 games of 7th.
There's not much point
Math
going
Hammer,
into that, is there?
as it's been called.
Math Hammer, is
Math
that what?
Hammer, yeah. Good games, to be honest with you.
Who did you play?
I played Matt Hobney, new chap who works at GW. He's been coming down Derby club for a while, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a regular on the tournament scene as well.
Yeah,
isn't he?
regular on the tournament scene, and just recently got got a nice job at Games Workshop.
Good stuff. That's good for him. And he's,
yeah.
he's playing with us on a Tuesday night down there
He's
now,
playing
isn't
with us on Tuesday night. He used vampires, standard fare really. Nothing to expect. Lord of the Cast Iron Ring, which was kind of fun.
he? Okay. You got to kill him twice.
Got to kill him twice. Yeah, it was
Awesome.
great. In last turn he got blasted by 3 burning gazers, and that kind of
That's going to chafe.
Yeah,
It's
that
going to
kind
burn a little.
it chafed him a bit. Yeah, that killed him in the end. But no, it was a good game. That was a big win to me in the end. Got loads of points from Raised Zombies.
Just kept letting him bring them up and kill them.
Right, raise a new unit of zombies. Okay, I'll let you do that, and then my Outriders will turn them into a smear. So I think I got about 200 points from raised zombie units, and then I played Greg Milne on Wednesday night.
7th edition again?
7th
Because
edition
Greg's
again.
going to the Midlands Open,
Yeah,
isn't he?
that's right. He used his Midlands Open list, which is it's not bad actually, to be honest. A couple of stegs, Slan, pretty blasty. The magic, steam tank straight into combat as quick as possible, stop it getting melted.
Yep.
But yeah, it was good. Lost a load of points at the end from the Scarvet. Just got into my lines.
Going up, killing all your chaff.
Yeah, killing all the chaff. Yeah. But that again, that ended at 15-5. It'd have been a lot more than that, really. But
Oh, well. Anyway, no one's interested in
no
that
one cares.
crap.
7th edition beer.
I, on the other hand, have been playing 8th edition.
Yeah, you were playing on the table behind me, and it did look kind of cool.
Okay, so I played against a lovely chap called Liam Jordan. Some of you might know of him from the tournament scene. He is regular over the last couple of years.
Lovely Liam.
I got a text off his mate saying, Liam's wandering around like a lost puppy. Will you come and play with him? And then a text 2 seconds later, and then you can play Warhammer. Ha ha ha.
Oh, bless.
So, I gave Liam a game, and I used my high elf, so he used his dark elf, so I got a taste of my own medicine. He was running, it was 2,500 points, and he had 50 spearmen in one unit, a horde, 5 deep, 10 wide.
Which looked absolutely awesome.
Yep, it did. The only thing that did look ridiculous was the characters placed at the ends of the unit, which I don't like at all.
It's not aesthetically pleasing, but
No.
it does work.
No, they should have just said can't go in. That'd have worked. It'd
Yeah,
look-
that'd have
it'd look
worked
good,
too.
and it'd
That'd have
work.
worked too, yeah.
I didn't like it at all. It just didn't look. Ignoring the mechanics of it, how they've made it look on the table with the big blocks looks great, and then when you've got a guy on a horse stuck at the end of each unit,
Yeah.
it doesn't look good. So he had 50 warriors. His characters were a level 4 on a horse, a BSB on a horse, and 2 normal masters on horses. I think that's right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
4 characters. Although I can't remember where I killed the 4th now. But yeah, so 4 characters.
Maybe only had 3.
It definitely was 4.
Anyway,
it was 4, I remember. So it's 2 masters on horses, the BSB on a horse, the level 4 on a horse. And he went for shadow magic. And I said to him, is there any reason? And he was like, well, I like the idea of, because I've got lots of shooting, using his hexes to drop my toughness, so he can then shoot me even easier with his repeat crossbows and bolt throwers and stuff. And he's with his what's it called, the bit of the spell that does it, because it's
the
attribute.
attribute. There you go.
There we go. The attribute of the shadow magic is you can swap position with someone within 12 inches on the same size base. So the 4 hero horses swapping places with the wizards.
I was just going to say that. Do you not need to be on foot for that? But no, same size base, isn't it? Yeah.
So then he had 2 units of shades, like in 8s, 2 units of 10 crossbows, 2 chariots, a unit of dart riders, 2 bolt throwers. So everything else was
Hydra?
Yes, and 1 Hydra. So everything else shot, including the Hydra. You know what I mean? Breath weapon killed like 11 white lions in one go.
Yeah, it'll do that.
I was
now.
lucky it was only that, to be fair. We'll get to that in a minute. So we got to the table, wrote an army list. I was using the high elf list I've been using recently, which was a level 4 the Book of Hoth, level 2 with Seer. Level 2 with Seer going on metal. Again, not for the... Well, I did end up going for the final transmutation because I didn't roll dwellers on the level 4. Then with the 2 of them and being able to choose, I can guarantee I get one of the big death spells.
Yeah.
You know, killy death. But mainly it's for the augment spells, the enchanted blades, and the glittering robes.
Yeah.
Both of them are pretty tasty when combined with white lions. Makes them armor piercing and hitting on 2s against most stuff, or gives them a 1-up armor save against shooting. But yeah, I went for the final transmutation because the level 4 rolled pants. The life magic is normally stunning.
Yeah.
I didn't roll toughness, and I didn't roll dwellers. So all of a sudden, I'm stuck with spells that I can't really do much with.
See, we've spoke about this a few times, haven't we? About the need for knowing all the spells isn't as important now.
I'm wondering if I need another level 2. So I've got the metal one, which is augment, the life one, which is augment, and then a blasty one. So the first few turns, I can just throw magic missiles.
Yeah.
But then it starts cranking your points up.
Yeah. And well, I don't know, because I was going to say you obviously only get so many dice, don't you, if you roll low? But I suppose it's
with the high elves, it's quite good because you get the banner of sorcery to bang that up by D3. An extra wizard will be a third channeling dice. Maybe if I can get, instead of the seer staff, I could go for the extra spell on the metal one, and then an extra dice on the blasty one.
But then are you not running the same problem again of not rolling the spells that you...
Yeah, but if I go for the blasty, I can just go for a fireball.
That's true.
And just power it up and have a 3d6 fireball.
Yeah, big fireball.
And then the second spell I roll is a bonus. And if I roll the Burning Blade, the Flaming Sword, is it? That's another augment spell if I get that. So yeah, there's options there, but a third wizard would be good. But again, it makes it really magic heavy, taken away from the units. So talking of units, a nice segue there. We've got my core is just bowmen with high elves. I've just discovered that the rest of it's rubbish. The bowmen are good. Just take bowmen as your core, sorted.
Yeah.
6 units of 10 with standard musician, 625. No, 5 units of 10 with standard musician. 625 points.
That helps on the Blood and Glory scenario.
Yeah, exactly. What's the core allowance for 2,500 points?
What's 25% at 2,500 points?
What's the same points as 5 units of bowmen with standards and musicians on the button? 625.
Dear. I'm sorry about him. I really am.
Yeah, so it does fit nicely, that one does. But literally, I suppose a unit of spearmen might be useful, but I think my special infantry choices are filling all the roles that the spearmen would want to fill, and the bowmen are there to support them.
Yeah.
So that's
I can't see really, other than being cheaper, you would swap White Lions, Swordmasters, Phoenix Guard for spearmen.
No, unless you've already filled your special, because you only get 1,000 points in special.
Yeah, but you're playing 2,500 points. You've got to have...
Or 1,200 points in special.
You know what I mean? You've got to have 600 and something points of core. 1,200 points of special doesn't leave you much left for
rares and characters.
You know, a couple of bolt throws and some characters. So you're probably going to struggle to go 1,200 points of.
See, I'm running fairly light on characters. I'm not spending an awful lot of points. Whereas I could crank it up by quite a bit more.
Well, yeah, but you know, even your level 4, level 2, and
a BSB with a banner of the World Dragon, which is my new toy. He runs wherever. Usually, he runs with the 2 wizards to stop.
You've got 300 points of magic items.
Yeah.
Plus the actual characters themselves. Yeah. So you're not that light.
You do have the potential to spend a lot more.
Oh yeah, you do. But if you're already talking about going over 1,200 points of special, you're not going to be able to do that.
No, of course not. Anyway, so my special I've been running 30 White Lions in the Horde formation, which we'll get more on later because I'm quite interested in this. Then I'm running 16 Spearmen, and I think it was 12 Phoenix Guard with a Banner Sorcery. And they're my bunker for my characters because I've got a forward ward against shooting.
Was it not more than 12?
No, I've been changing it around a lot. Each game I play, I've been just fudging the numbers and changing here and there. Rare, just 2 bolt throwers. I know a lot of people have been going about the spamming the eagles. Could be quite tasty. You know what I mean? Just loads of them because there's no cap on the high elf one.
No.
Well, I don't really want to play like that. As bad as as much as it sounds like I don't care with the rest of it. The rest of it's good. That's abusive. You know what I mean? For the sake of, you know what I mean? Take 10 eagles. It's ridiculous. Why would you do it? It works. It works really well, but why? You don't need to when you're just playing friendlies. Take it to a tournament, on the other hand, maybe, but we'll see.
You don't even need to do it there. You don't need to be that guy.
No, exactly. So we deployed. Liam had a load more units than me, which I noticed straight away. It's like, crap, well, okay, I'm going to put all my archers down across the back of the board, spread out. We played meeting engagement, so it's the diagonal
one. Yeah.
Spread out quite a lot. White Lions right in the centre of the table. We had an altar of corn in the middle of the board, which was altar of blood or altar of corn.
Altar of cane.
Altar of cane, extra frenzied. So I made sure I was near that with all my elite stuff, except the Swordmaster. The Swordmaster had the potential to get near it, but if they want to go the other way, they could. Liam says, "Okay, we'll have a horde bash," and he put his 50 spearmen down opposite me. I always get the first turn. He failed to steal initiative in this scenario. So I shoved the white lions right forward, thinking I can take the shooting, and then I can chop him up in combat. But because my bolt throws were both on a hill, and it is a Ultra Vol or something like that, we've made him flaming. He didn't want his Hydra getting shot, so he's hiding behind the Altar of Cain. So,
hang on, whoa. So that's what that does? Makes him flame it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Against the Hydra. So he was hiding behind the Altar of Cain, and I thought, well, he's a long way away to come and breathe fire. But when the Fat ND template just clips the end of your White Lions, it still hit 12 of them, killed 11, even with rubbish armor saves, which I didn't make any of. Killed 11 of them, and then took bolt throws to the face. It even makes your magic missiles off your wizards and everything. So it bolt throwed him to his face, took 3 wounds off him, and then shoved a unit of archers right in front of the Hydra. Now, redirecting, people say it's gone, but I still managed to hold it up for a turn. The reason being, I didn't...
It's not gone, it's different.
Yeah.
People have just got their heads around it.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. So I needed to... I needed to block him up for a turn, so I can't remember what the situation was now. I didn't want him charging me, and then I wanted him overrunning to me, basically. I can't remember what it was now. There's a reason in my head. I think it was because that was it. My White Lions had been shot to pieces. He's shooting just... There was like 10 left.
Right.
So I wanted the 2 turns to regrow him. I didn't get it in the end because I had to move my BSB in there to get rid of his magic. He had two remaining play spells on him, dropping my strength and my toughness. So I had to move my Banner of the World Dragon onto him to stop the magic. And then I couldn't regrow him, so they had to back up. Now this is where another bit of a tactic came in with... I'm stood... Because I've shoved him forward and then got shot to pieces, I'm stood in no man's land. My Swordmasters managed to just run down his... I took a charge off his hero, then ran straight into his gun line at the back, because he'd shot everything at the White Lions and the Swordmasters were fighting. I ran down through them, so I reduced the shooting. So I think, right, I can afford to have the White Lions shot again now, because it's not a whole army, it's just a bit. So I lined them up, so if he charged me next turn with his spearman, I could flee. And I set it, so my wizard ran out of a unit in front of the White Lions, in front of the Phoenix Guard. There was like 2 inches and like 19 mil in front of them, so I can't flee with my White Lions and land in the gap between, because you've got to be an inch away.
Yeah,
can't land in the gap between my wizard and my Phoenix Guard, so it bumps me back. So I only had to roll if I rolled like 3 or something on my flee, I'd have been dead. But as long as I roll like a sensible number, I'm through both units to safety. He redirects into my wizard with a leadership test. He flees as well through both units to safety. Can't shoot me now. And then all of a sudden he's got 10 Phoenix Guard in a line with Frenzy facing these spearmen. Still 50 of them. So it's like, right, okay. My next turn, I need to regroup for a bit.
This is the good bit.
This is the good bit. I need to regroup for a bit. He was still a bit far away to charge, because I think when he charged me, he rolled a 1. He didn't go far. 3 and a 1, so he went forward 3 inches. Still a bit far away. So I shuffled back, rallied the White Lions, rallied the Wizard. Final transmutation on the 50 spearmen, kills 17 of them. And then in his turn, his Wizard blows up and kills another 11. He tries to charge from a mile away and gets short. And then
hang on. What did he say? He says, you just killed 17 of them, and I've still got more men than you've got left on the table.
Yeah, that was it. And then he miscast, killed 11.
More men in that unit than you've got left on the table.
And he was right. And then he killed 11, and then I charged him. And
then the Phoenix Guard got brave.
The Phoenix Guard got brave. Once there was only like 15 of them, 10 Phoenix Guard in a line with halberds and frenzy, and I cast the enchanted blades on them. So I was hitting on 2s with a reroll, wounded on 3s with armor piercing. Went straight through them like a dose of the souls. And that was that. Ran them down, and it was a big win to me in the end. But some of the stuff that came up while I was playing, like the situation where I'd overcommitted the White Lions, I'd got them shot to pieces. Hydra had come from nearly 20 inches away and breathed fire on him.
Yeah.
He probably 18 inches away. So there's like only 2 inches of the template touching the White Lions. If he'd have waited a turn, and come closer, it'd have been horrendous. It'd have got them all.
Well, what happened with the chariot? Did the chariot not come about 3 foot in a turn and a half?
Chariot charged a bolt thrower and rolled double 6 for his distance and +7, and it just got him in. And then he rolled the same for his overrun and went off the board, literally miles. Lots of other stuff happened, like peripheral stuff. My Swordmasters ran forward and he charged him with a single hero. I chopped him down. He took a wound off difficult terrain on the way in. Then I chopped him down. I did a ruck of wounds to him, and then overran. And I charged 2 archer units. I think he made a mistake. He should have fled with. I charged the first archer unit. He ran away, and then I took a leadership test. Charged the second archer unit, and he held. I don't know why. He chose to stand and fire at me because I was at short range. There was only 12 of me. A few less than that. No, about 12. By the time he shot him a bit, killed some in combat.
Yeah,
and he just stand and shot and killed like a couple, and I went in and chopped him to pieces, and I was off his table edge then. But then I came on to 16 Shades waiting for me. And he just killed me dead. It was horrendous.
Did you add victory points up, or have you not been bothered?
No, we didn't bother because it was just by then I'd lost the Swordmasters and pretty much and one bolt thrower. Harpies, 3 Harpies charged my bolt thrower. I strike first, kill one. He does nothing back. Next turn, I strike first, kill another, and his 1 Harpy kills both my crew.
Ninja.
Yeah. I'd lost the bolt thrower, I'd lost the Swordmasters, and that was it.
Yeah.
I think I might have lost 1 archer unit, but not a lot, whereas he'd lost quite a bit.
Because I was looking through my book the other day. I'm normally quite keen on making sure I had everything. I like to have it written down.
Yeah.
Well, especially for doing the podcast. And the games of 8, I've noticed I've not been adding it up because obviously
A lot of them are scenarios.
A lot of them are scenarios, or you only need to win by 100 points.
Yeah.
So I've not been adding them up, which I don't know, just odd, just different.
Yeah, it is a bit different. So what do you find? What have you found from playing so far? What do you think?
I'm liking fast cavalry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pistoliers. I'm not a massive fan of them in 7th. I just couldn't seem to get the use out of them.
Why do you like the Pistoliers then?
To be honest, it's the Vanguard.
Okay, the 12-inch one at the start.
Yeah, which
to what? Move forward or just to redeploy?
Redeploy or
So you can use them as a ploy.
Yeah.
Plonk them down and then react to the deployment.
I played Vampires and I ran them through a wood.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Thinking, well, I'll take a couple of tests and see what happens. That was quite good. I did notice that the pistols now you suffer long range at 6 inches.
Okay. But it's 12-inch range now.
12-inch range now instead of 8. But there's nothing in it. It says you ignore long range, or not that I've seen.
Not that I've seen, yeah.
So that's quite cool. Outriders again, nudge them an inch and then open fire.
So if you use your Vanguard move with your Outriders, do you count shooting? You can't move in for your first shooting phase. So you can move. Yeah, you can move forward
Just
an inch.
Nudge them. Oh.
And then you're in range.
Yeah,
that's quite tasty.
Yeah.
You need to check that.
You
might be cheating horribly.
I might be cheating horribly. But yeah, I mean, again, I've not played as many games as you. I've been trying to. I've read basically from like page 160 to the back.
Yeah.
Of the book. I've not really read.
You're concentrating on 7th for the rules, and you're reading the fluff for the. Of course.
The fluff
so
is awesome.
Back to the rules, because this is what we're sort of concentrating on this segment. What do you think to like the general movement rules now?
I found them massively quick.
Yeah, everything's a lot faster.
Everything's a lot faster. It does seem neater as well, somehow. I don't know, does that make sense?
Things can't get bogged down in terrain, and they're not trying to struggle to wheel an inch.
Yeah,
I'm going to charge here, I'm going to move forward an inch, wheel, and move forward, you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Or none of this, I'll move forward this, and then I wheel, and then a straight line, and I'm just in, so...
Well, you still sort of have that. Because
do.
you need to roll to see if your distance is there, and you still only get one wheel.
Yeah.
So there are situations where you have to move around something, and you might not be able to physically wheel through a gap.
Well, I mean, how does that work with terrain? If you, for example, are 9 inches away, but roll 11, are you allowed to go forward a bit and then round the terrain?
Yeah, you go forward a bit, you get one free pivot of up to free wheel
of up to 90
degrees, and then in. But in some cases you can't do that, so you still do have some sort of restrictions on how you can move, especially when it comes to multiple charges.
Yeah,
units getting in the way and things like that.
Well, we were proved wrong, weren't we, about the multiple charges as well, weren't we?
Yeah, against the fleeing units. Yeah. That's we'll have to reiterate that because there has been some questions. Obviously, a lot of people have heard us talk about this. and we spoke about it last episode, which is if you charge a unit that's already fled in that phase, it just flees again.
Yeah. That's what it's been,
Treat it as charging a single charge against a fleeing unit. So, how do you think the random movements change things?
What, the random charge range?
Yeah.
I could see people getting frustrated by it.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a new way of doing it. I do like the measure first, very much.
Yeah. And measure everything at any time.
Measure everything at any time, yeah.
Again, that's been FAQ'd, so it's clear.
Yeah. It's going to cut down so much. But because that was, like you say, shuffle forward an inch wheel, ammo within 6. Do you know what I mean? And then bringing it back was always the nightmare in 7th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas now, measure, right, I need 11. I've rolled 10, right. I failed.
Yeah, so you move forward with your highest dice.
Yeah, much better.
So what do you think to the Magic? Because the shooting's pretty much the same as it was before. There's a bit of the problem I'm having with big long units, seeing how many of your models are obscured by the enemy models. You know what I mean? And that's a bit of a pain. I thought that slowed down quite a bit. Rather than, can you see? Yes, right, they all shoot, blah, blah, blah. It is a lot. That's slowed down quite a bit. It's sort of doing me head in. But for the rest of it, it's pretty much the same as it was. So the Magic, because the Magic's massively different, isn't it?
It is probably the biggest difference in the game, isn't it? The one game I did notice massively was against Vampires. Sort of turn 3 and 4, when he needed to raise a bit, he rolled 1, 1, 2.
Oh dear, on the power dice.
Yeah, which I think, especially a Vampire army, you have to build that in, aren't you? You're going to have to expect to have very few power dice and not rely on the massive raising.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I've not tried a level 4. Oh, I tried a level 4 in the first game, but that was literally push it forward, see what happens. After that, I've been using 2 level 2s, a light and a fire, which
So I've been using the level 4 mainly for the dispelling, +5 with the high elves.
Well, yeah, but I've been using an Archlector and a Warrior Priest. So you get 3
so you've got
dice,
plenty of dispel dice
plenty of
already.
dispel dice, yeah, and also 2 scrolls.
Yeah.
A scroll and a destroyer.
Destroy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's quite. I think the Empire are pretty sound with the defence.
Yeah, I think the Empire are pretty sound all over because they've got lots of cheap troops, lots of shooting, lots of magic, lots of combat stuff.
Not sure on the War Altar though.
No?
No, I just you don't get as much use out of it as you did in 7th. Because obviously you still need dice to make it work.
Yeah.
And you probably need at least 2 because it's bound 4 and bound 5.
Yeah.
So that's 6 dice if you want to use all your prayers and your War Altar. So you can quite rapidly run out for anything you want to use your wizard for. So I'm not sure. I think I might lose that.
Yeah, well, it's tweaking, constant tweaking.
Oh yeah,
isn't
constant tweaking. Yeah.
So, okay, so I mean, overall, obviously, I'm loving 8th edition. I mean, there's a lot of people have been complaining about it, but I think it is a vastly improved game. As for whether it's as competitive in tournaments and that sort of thing, I think that remains to be seen.
Again, 6 months and see where we are, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But for sheer enjoyment, I think it's a breath of fresh air. It really is.
Well, when we played on Wednesday, I had 2 guys on the table next to me playing. What's it called? The end-to-end one.
Battle for the Pass.
And just taking men off in droves and seemed to have a really good time with it. I had you behind me, rolling so many dice you couldn't fit them all in your hands.
I'm gonna have to. I've bought a load of the bad dice ones, and I'm struggling to carry them all. Might have to go back to my small ones. But it was a lot. It was 52 dice in one roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good fun.
And there's me and Greg playing Math Hammer.
Yeah.
Getting laughed at.
Yeah, I think it was a bit like that. I mean, after the ETC, we're going to be on it.
Oh God, yeah.
But until then, we've sort of, not long now, is it? By the time you hear this, we'll be there.
Yep, I broke up today, and we fly, Tuesday morning?
Yeah. So overall, big thumbs up for 8th edition, or
so
do you miss your 7th edition still? Is there any bits of 7th edition that we should particularly miss which aren't in 8th?
Oh, good question.
Full of them? No.
I
think you were something unusual, and you've frazzled your brain there.
Keep going back to it, but it's a different game.
What I enjoyed about 7th was the intricacies of the movement phase.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, and it's gone. It's just not. It's not even of the same sort of.
No,
you know what I mean? It's wildly different.
Not yet. It isn't.
It might pan out that way once you play a bit more.
One thing about not really jumping straight on the bandwagon. I mean, obviously I've played a few, you've played a few more. But when we come back from Germany, everything should be, FAQs will be out.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing.
Everyone will be playing it on the same way.
I think a lot of people we've been speaking to have also been trying to sort of break it and bring the best list they can.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I don't know, I think that's what's getting people down a bit. Whereas we've just been playing silly hammer and shoving it to the middle and fighting because we're not that bold about playing it seriously until we're back. I think it's helped us to sort of break us in gently to it.
To be honest, I think I might do that for the rest of the year anyway. Like I say, I want to take the Griffin Man, who's rubbish.
Yeah.
But God, it'll be fun.
Well, we're going to hold you to that. I'm not going to forget.
That's fine. No problem. That's going to Warrington. Guaranteed.
Excellent. Okay. You've got to play with it at Warrington. You can't just take it to Warrington.
No, that is going to go in my army at Warrington.
Okay.
General of the Empire with a Runefang.
All right.
Watch out.
Okay, well, I think that's about it for a General Apes discussion. We're going to have another short break and we'll come back and we'll wrap up the show. Back to Basics and our proud sponsors of the Bad Dice Podcast. Based in Adelaide, Australia, they serve both the national and international gaming communities with quality resin products. If you visit www.backtobase-ix.com, you can view all their fantastic products, which includes resin bases, terrain, modular gaming tables, and even a wide variety of movement trays to suit all shapes and sizes for your 8th edition armies. The Back to Basics movement trays come in pretty much any size you could possibly need. If you find something that you want and it's not on their website, they'll even make it for you. The Back to Basics resin bases come in all different themes to suit any fantasy army. Designs include brick, cobblestone, desert, dirt, dungeon stone and forest, amongst many more. So if you like what you hear and fancy picking up some of the Back to Basics range, visit www.backtobase-ix.com. When you go to the checkout, insert the code BADDICE and you'll receive a 10% discount. That's www.backtobase-ix.com. Okay, so that's another episode in the bag.
Yeah, episode 43.
I'm sure at the start we said 42.
Might have done.
Oh, wow, bit of a slip of the tongue. Apparently Ben's been wondering if I'd noticed all episode, and I did just before the end.
Not without me prompting you.
Go team me. Okay, so I think we're about done and dusted. Just going to wrap some things up. So thanks to all our sponsors.
Unseen American Magazine,
Odd
Odd Games, Back to Basics, and Rankings HQ.
Yeah, thanks to all them guys for supporting us again and again and again. It's all good. Particularly check out Back to Basics because we've got a 10% deal on with all their stuff on their website. So check them out and use the code BADDICE when you're ordering. What else do you want to plug? Plug. Some dice.
We're going to Germany.
Yeah. So if you're going to the ETC, come and find us. We'll be recording there. We'll be the guys wandering around in the England shirts or the Bad Dice shirts. So come and find us.
Yep.
If you want some dice, Bad Dice, you can find it on the website. It's going to be, when I come back from Germany, they're going to be going on the actual website. They're going to be going up in price by a bit. You can still get them at the introductory rate of a £5 plus postage for a set of dice from the forums. So you're going to have to sign up to the forums to be able to find that. Okay, I think that's about it. Check us out on all the normal places. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter because we're going to be updating all that about all our exploits in Germany. Other than that,
that's something I need to sort out tomorrow. I need to ring O2 and get some sort of internet bundle thing added on for foreign lands. Yeah,
foreign land internet browsing. Yeah, definitely because Twitter will be our friends out there.
Twitter will be our friends.
Lots of stuff going up on there. So I think that's it. Another episode in the bag. And we'll see you again in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
See you guys.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by Ben and Ben Productions. If you actually enjoyed the show and feel the need to tell other people about it, you can leave a positive review on iTunes. You can contact both your hosts at thebems@baddice.co.uk, or you can contact us individually on on Ben Curry at baddice.co.uk or Ben Johnson at baddice.co.uk. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Bad Dice Podcast.